Who would be the audience for your media product? When planning for our film opening, we wanted to get an idea of what consists in typical horror openings and what age group it appeals to the most. To conduct this information, as a group we created a questionnaire on SurveyMonkey which enabled us to understand what age groups chose horror as their favourite genre. We decided we wanted to make the audience for our horror film opening interesting for all ages, regardless of focusing or following the conventions of one specific horror subgenre. From doing different researches as a group and individually, it was evident that a teen horror would be best appropriate for us. From the response we got from our survey, we realised that teens were mainly interested in horror thrillers than any other age group. Once we had identified what subgenre and age group we were targeting at, our research was more refined as we were able to look at for conventions for that specific type of horror movie. Being teenagers ourselves, it was easier for us as we also had an idea of what type of conventions would appeal to our audience. We have conformed to the traditional conventions of a teen horror and incorporated our research into our opening. This is evident in our horror film opening as we have successfully used a stereotypical, vulnerable, independent female protagonist. Although we have focused on teen horror genre and its typical conventions, our plot made it interesting for more ages rather than just a group of teenagers. When researching, we also looked at conventions of a lot of other subgenres which included psychological horror, body horror, gothic horror, etc. This allowed us to expand our knowledge and challenge our chosen subgenre. For example, we focused on the feelings and emotions of our female protagonist and included something which was somewhat supernatural known as the unknown, who was following our main character. However, the audience does not get to see this unknown. These are all conventions of psychological horror. Moreover, as a group I feel that our media product has been successful in meeting the key criteria of what a teen horror would consist of, and by this we have been able to adequately target the audience we intended to by adhering to the custom of horror, more specifically teen horror.